Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Mulder, and today I'd like to start the show with this famous quote. It says, "Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery." And uh, I understand what that quote means, and I have to admit that over the years I've been really damn flattered. I have to admit. Uh, Let me kind of give you a little bit of history of how, you know, I got started in radionics. Back in, I think it was around 2011, I started working directly with Joshua P. Warren and started building machines and we were able to start making sales and get on coast to coast and really have like a giant just a flurry of sales. And then he would start promoting it with workshops and that kind of thing. And I have to say that Joshua P. Warren is probably more responsible than anybody that's ever lived when it comes to promoting radionic technology. He's only second to a gentleman by the name of Charles Cosimano. Uh, and Uncle Chuckie, aka Charles Cosimano, and I were really, really good friends. I think we started talking back around 20, I don't know, it's like 2014, 2015, somewhere in that neighborhood. And we speak for an hour plus every week. I think I mentioned this many times before in earlier shows, but just for the new listeners. And we would talk for an hour, hour and a half a week. And the reason why he started or wanting to get in touch with me was that I built a machine for him. I just sent it to him just as a gift to show my appreciation for all his good work and his many books about radionics. And so he started using my machines and he said, "Hey, Dr. Mulder, I want to talk to you about this." And after that, we started developing a conversation, getting on Skype and going back and forth. And there's a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, these machines they're junk or whatever, or they're no better than anybody else's, or they're you get what you're paid for, and this and that and whatever." And so, and Chuck even went out, made a couple of videos. I don't know if they're still up, but he did make a couple of videos telling everybody that my machines were as good as, if not better, than the machines that were going for $2,500 at the time. And these are some fairly famous machines out there, a good reputation. They build quality stuff, but the difference between theirs and mine was that each one of my machines were unique. And I, if I have the magic in me, apparently when it comes to radionics machines, building radionics machines, that's where my magic lies. And so, we started going back and forth, and Chuck asked me, he said, "Hey, I want you to start building some machines." For example, I think it was the chopper machine. He told me, he gave me the specifications of what he wanted, and it was my job to actually lay the stuff out, to build the circuit based on his qualifications, his specifications, and create a label that would have all the proper layout for it and what have you. And like I said, I was the guy that put everything together. But yeah, that was one of the things we did. I think we did another one. It was the handheld telephone, which is become really, really popular now. And also the vampire machine, which I personally, yeah, it's a simple machine, but the thing about it is, you could do the same thing with a dial machine, and in my humble opinion, it's more accurate. Yeah, they have their use case when it comes to simplicity, but it's a mind machine. The operator has to interact with that machine for the intention of what the operator wants the vampire machine to do when it comes to transferring energy from one place to another. So these were some of the machines that I worked in conjunction with Chuck on. Um, and his thing was keep it simple, stupid. Well, the thing about it is he got to start by uh, excuse me, by building his own machines out of shoe boxes or cardboard boxes. He'd go down the local Radio Shack, get some potentiometers, and start putting these things together and what have you. And over the years, he learned a few techniques to even make his DIY machines a little bit more powerful and what have you. And a lot of stuff he kept to himself. This is quote unquote trade secret. And he and I, started working together and had what I consider a great exchange of ideas. And he's told me some of these trade secrets, which I incorporated into the machines that you get today, that you guys are working with to this very day. And yes, he his idea was to have the average person go out there and be able to build a machine for a few dollars. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm fairly skill oriented. I know how to use a soldering iron. I know how to use a table saw. I can design things, yada, yada, yada. I'm pretty much self-contained when it comes to building prototypes and that kind of, and that sort of, items. And the very first machine I built took me like less than 24 hours. But here's the thing, I had to go source out parts. I had to go spend my time finding, the right materials to build an enclosure. 'Cause I wanted to do this right. I want to build one, and I want it to look halfway decent. And that's how I got my start. And so I found out the tolerances of the components and what it took to build a machine or build a circuit using, certain uh, the confines of certain dimensions and what have you. And I was a firm believer in keeping things as compact as possible because a lot of the machines you'll see out there, if you look in the back of them, it's mostly just air. I mean, it's just free space. What you're buying is a piece of furniture. I think I even did a video about that. I just believe in why waste space because for me, space is it's a premium. I don't, hell, I put machines, literally Velcroed machines to the wall because I no longer have enough shelf space to keep these buggers up there and operating. So I have to, literally attach them to the wall. But yeah, the do-it-yourself thing, it's a great idea. You can do all this stuff, you can build these machines, but here is the sticky wicket. The things, the true magic, the things that go into this that make these machines magical. Uh, that was something that Charles Cosimano, and I worked on together. I mean, my dad asked me a question. He said, "Hey, son, are you afraid that somebody's going to steal your idea and start building these things?" And I told him, I said, "Yeah, they can go out there, they can tear it apart and try to copy it and whatever, but it'll never be the same because really the true tech behind this you can't even find under a microscope." And I want, again, this is a trade secret of mine. This is what makes my stuff different from anybody else's. I'll give you an example. I was working with, I wouldn't say working, I was basically observing a group of magicians, and I provided them with a bunch of machines. I mean, these things they were finely tuned instruments. I really went on my way to make sure that they would work great. And they decided to take it into, I don't know, this temple of some kind or whatever, and they did a ceremony. I mean, I have these things that basically they just glowed. They had like a golden glow about them. They were just beautiful instruments. And whatever these guys did, they brought them back out, and it's like I looked at them and it's just like, what happened? You destroyed these things. Basically, what they did was they took. I gave them a fleet of Ferraris, and they brought me back a fleet of garden tractors. Okay, they destroyed the magic that was in them because I kind of thought, okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Maybe these guys knew something that I don't know, and I have to say that I was, I should trust my intuition on this and maybe give them a warning not to do what they did. But whatever happened, whatever ceremony they performed with these machines, they destroyed the true mojo, the true magic that the that the that the builder put into these machines. They were no longer a Stradivarius. They were just a copy. They were just a something that looks like it, smells like it, feels like it, yada yada yada. But is it truly as unique as the original? No, all that's been destroyed. And so the point of that is, there's a reason why I've done what I'm able to do. Okay, I have built more machines, more radionic devices than any man who's ever lived. I'm it. I'm at the top of the pyramid when it comes to being prolific with the production of machines. I am the guy. I'm at the top of the pyramid. I'm not trying to be uh, braggadocious or bombastic or whatever. I'm just stating a fact. It truly is. As as a Babe Ruth said, if you can do it, you're not bragging. And I can do it. I've done it. I proved myself, in the field. And there's a lot of people out there in the radionics industry that are jealous of me. And and you hear all this stuff about, oh, that that Dr. Mulder was working with that Uncle Chuckie fellow, and he's nothing but he's an evil black magician. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bullshit. I'm not a black magician. Hell, I'm not even a magician. I know how magic works. I know how you can do magic, and a lot of the things that I've seen done, I think it was kind of more of theater when they could have basically tuned a few dials, just focus their intent on a certain outcome and tune a few dials for that outcome, and you have it. I mean, there's no need to go, evoke spirits or light a candle. I mean, if that works with your belief system, yeah, you can do that. But in reality, as I've stated many times before, you are the magic. You were given the magic by your creator. Your DNA, if it hasn't been altered, your DNA is where your magic lies. Okay. And don't take that lightly. And when you start, throwing it around and whatever, you've either diluted your DNA or you've given or you provided opportunities that normally would not happen for your DNA to be corrupted. And when that happens, the magic is no longer there. It's just like the machines that I built before and after. Yeah, they had the magic, they had the mojo, and then whatever was done to these by outside forces destroyed my work. I mean, they said, "Well, don't you want these machines to sell? Don't you want them back?" I said, "Nah, you can keep them. Consider them a gift. I don't want to be near them." I just, frankly, I was kind of disappointed, but I just said, nope, I don't want them. Guys, you keep them. In my mind, I was thinking, you broke it, you bought it, and that's really the way I felt about it. And so, anyway, that's kind of what I've seen here, just in my journey with the stuff, and people thinking, thinking they can do something with an instrument that I build and make it better or change it. Well, yeah, you can do that. It's yours. I mean, you paid for it. You can do with it whatever the hell you want. I mean, it's none of my damn business. But I'm just telling you, there is a reason to my madness with the things I do. I know that anybody can open up a box and copy it. I mean, hell, I'm planning on doing a interview with a guy that wrote an entire book on building circuits, and he worked for Charles Cosimano himself. And he's written several books. I think he's out of Minneapolis, not Minneapolis. I think maybe Wisconsin. I know he and Chuck were not close, but they were associated. And what this guy would do, he would take the machines that I worked that I designed working in conjunction with Charles Cosimano, and he would take pictures of the labels or whatever. He would open them up and try to show people the layout of the circuits, that kind of thing. And I thought, okay, great. I mean, anybody, like I said, anybody, you're allowed to do that. You know, uh, would I kind of like to keep it a secret? Yeah, if I was going to keep it a secret, it'd be, in a welded stainless steel container, and it'd be, it'd just be almost impossible for the average person to get inside and access the circuit. But I've come to the point where I really don't care anymore because nobody can reproduce my work. It goes back to the Stradivarius thing. Now, this guy, excuse me, this guy, he took care of, he had all the circuits or whatever. And so it's everything, there for people to, build themselves. And a matter of fact, I've seen, there was somebody down in Mexico was doing this. And I think they were trying to copy my layouts or whatever, except they were doing it differently. They were using like what do you call a laser burner or something, a wood burner, laser wood burner. Anyway, where they were creating the outlines on wood, and they were building machines like down in Mexico. And I looked at it, and I just kind of thought, okay, yeah, you could do that. I guess you must really like my stuff so much that you decided to copy it, but that's fine. But it goes back to what I said before. Yes, you guys can. They go out there. You can try to copy my machinists. You can write about it. You can give the schematics on the internet. But at the end of the day, It's just like trying to copy a Stradivarius. Yes, you can get the same wood that Stradivaria used. You can get the same, use the same dyes, be chemically identical. The stains, the finishes, whatever that he used. Yes, you can do all of that. But at the end of the day, you're not going to have a Stradivarius. You're just going to have a copy. And I have to say, I must be doing something right, or these people would not be copying me. And let them have at it. Again, I've, every time the stuff that I've seen so far, I'm already about 2 or 3 generations past all that. Okay, and it's kind of like, well, what is it? It's kind of like a some of these people, yeah, you have like a sham wow. It's like it's not really it's just like a new product or whatever. And they go out there and they push it and they push it and push it. Then you're going to have people that copy it and trying to sell it, and they're like the aftermarket. Yeah, yeah, you have a sham wow and you have something that identifies or works just as good as the sham wow, but in reality, it's not the sham wow. It's just a copy of a sham wow. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Enough of my ranting. But yeah, again, I'm really, I've always said, please go out there and and compete with me. Come up with a better mousetrap. I welcome the competition. But come up with something unique. Always try to add something to the game. If you're going to try to tell everybody how to do or give somebody the schematics to my stuff, yeah, at least try to update it a little bit, try to put some of your personality into it, make it your own, that kind of thing. But no, enough of my yakking. It's just one of those things where I've been looking at this, and I saw this guy's book. I think it was like a month and a half, 2 months ago, and had like it was just basically one machine after another. You had like a few other devices. But if you really want a good DIY book on how to build machines to get you in the ball game, you can get it for free. It's called Elementary Psionics. I have preached about this book for years. Every time I've ever gotten on an interview with somebody or they asked me about it, I said Elementary Psionics by Charles Cosimano. That's the one. That is the go-to. That is the Bible of DIY radionics devices. Okay. And if you really want to go figure out how magic is used in these devices, go through his books. You'll see he's written volumes on how to do this. And he was the true master. This man was at it before there was an at it. And so I'm just saying, yes, if you're going to bring something to the game, make it unique, go to the next level. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, enough of my yakking. I hope that everybody's doing great. I've I've been working in conjunction with a few individuals here, and what we're about to do in this next level or this next part of the journey is really, really fantastic. And I think people are going to be greatly surprised. All right, I am out of here. Y'all have a great day. Bye.